Hello and welcome. In this video, we explain how to fill the area under a curve or line chart. To illustrate this, we will create a normal distribution and color the area that covers 68% of the population, 95%, and 99%. This corresponds to the intervals that are 1, 2, and 3 standard deviations away from the mean. You can observe this on the sheet here. We start by creating the graph without the colors. To do so, we insert a series of x and y values. We are considering the heights of female students in our region, so the x values start from 135 and go to 205 in steps of 1. This way, we should cover 99.9% of the population easily. We can insert this series by first typing 135 in the cell A2 and then navigating to the Home tab. Here we select Fill under Editing and then navigate to Series. A box opens where we can indicate how we want the series to appear. The series should appear in the column. It's a linear series that takes steps of 1 until it reaches 205. We press OK, and the series appears in column A as we want to. Let's insert the y values now. Here we want to create a normal distribution, so we will make use of the NORM.DIST function in Excel. We click on cell B2, where we insert the first value from the normal distribution. We type NORM.DIST of our x value. The mean of our observations is 171 and the standard deviation is 8. The final element in this function should indicate whether you are interested in a probability or cumulative distribution function. In this case, we are interested in the probability function, so we type false as a last argument in the function. Next, we want the corresponding y value appear for each of our x value in column A. To do that, you select cell B2 and click on a small square in the right bottom of the cell. All y values appear on the screen. Now we are ready to insert the graph. We select the data and navigate to Insert, where we go to Charts and select Scatter with Smooth Lines. As you can see, the graph appears. Let's add a title. We click on it and type Normal Distribution. Let's add all our wanted features to the chart. First, we will change the line's color. To do that, you double-click on the line. Then the Format Data Series side panel opens. You navigate to the Paint icon, where you can change the line's color. We take gray here. The distribution does not appear in the middle of the graph. We will change this to make it a bit cleaner. We double-click on the x-axis, navigate to the 3 bars icon in the side panel, and change the minimum value to 125. Now the maximum value adjusts automatically to center the distribution. Next, we add all vertical lines to highlight the positions of the average -1, 2, and 3 standard deviations, and the average +1, 2, and 3 standard deviations. The table here shows all required elements for this distribution. Recall that we used mean 171 and standard deviation 8 to compute our y values. So these are the figures found in the table. We will add some lines to the chart. A line can be defined by only 2 points, so for each line, we enter 2 x coordinates and 2 y coordinates. We start with defining the average line. The first point of our line is the mean 171, 0, and the second is, again, the mean 171, 0.055. That way, we draw a line that is slightly higher than the distribution. The second line we define is the one that should appear at the mean -3 standard deviations location. To define the corresponding points, we first take 147 for both x values and 0.011 as y values. This way, we again have a line that is slightly higher than our distribution. All other values are defined similarly. When both points are defined for each line, we can add the lines to the chart. You do this by clicking on the graph, navigating to Chart Design, and go to Select Data. A menu opens where you can add data. Here we show how to add the line corresponding to the average. All other lines can be added in exactly the same way. We click on Add. We don't need a particular name for this series, so we keep this box empty. The x values of the series can be found in cells J10, J11, and the y values in the cells K10, K11. We click on OK and see the line appear on the screen. By clicking on the line and navigating to color under the paint icon, you can change the line's color to whatever color you like. We choose light gray. You can also add the word average if you want. You can do this by clicking on the graph, selecting Format. Then you navigate to Insert Shapes in the ribbon. You click on the arrow and select the text box in the Basic Shapes section. Now you can draw your text box wherever you want on the chart. We set it next to the average line and type average. On the Home tab, you can now format the text to whatever you like. We make it light gray and a bit bigger here. All other lines can be drawn and formatted in exactly the same way as the average line, but we won't show that here. Now that we have created all vertical lines that we want, we are ready to color the areas. To do so, we have to add a new set of data. For each area we want to color, we set all data points equal to the corresponding y values, and all other data points will be 0. We show this for the area between the green bars. The data points are defined first. We do this in the second table on our sheet. For the green area, we want 0 to appear until we reach 163. Then we want the figures of the curve to appear. Finally, starting from 179, 0 should appear again. We can do this easily by using a few Excel functions, the if and functions. If the x value is higher than 163 and smaller than 179, we want 0 to appear. Otherwise, we want the y value. We type if of and of d2 higher than 163 and d2 smaller than 179. In that case, we want the y value to appear, so that's the next argument. Otherwise, we want 0 to appear, which is the last argument of the if function. We fix the cells J2 and J3. Enter and drag the formula down. Using these data points, we will create this curve on the graph and then color it. To do that, we click on the graph, navigate back to Chart Design and press Select Data. We add a new series by clicking on the Add button and selecting the newly defined x and y values. You press OK now and the curve appears on the chart. We will quickly turn it red to make it appear a little clearer on the screen. This can be done in the Format Data Series side panel as shown before. We choose red. As you can see, the shape is not entirely what we want. It does not completely match the desired area. To change this, we add 2 more data points to the table, one at 163 and another one at 179. We insert a new row in the table and type 163 and the corresponding y value to create a straight connection here. We do the same at 179. We insert a row and type 179 and the corresponding y value. You can see that the curve is as we want now, and it's time to color the area below. This can be done by clicking on the graph, selecting Chart Design, and click on Change Chart Type. Here you can select the combo from the side panel, where you can select different types of graphs for each data series. Here we make sure that all graphs are set to scatter with smooth lines, except for the red line. This we set to area. Furthermore, make sure the secondary axis is ticked off. We press OK and see that the graph has changed. However, remark that the x-axis of the area chart and the scatterplots chart are next to each other. This is due to the fact that Excel has only 2 options to interpret the x values in an area chart as text values or data values. A possible workaround for that is to double-click on the x-axis, navigate to the 3 bars icon in the side panel, then you select the axis options and select data axis. This way Excel interprets the x values as dates, which makes it possible for Excel to show all charts used on the same axis. Remark that this little trick does not work when your figures are small. Finally, we show how to change the area color and line color of the area chart. First, we change the line color by clicking on the area chart, navigating to the paint bucket in the side panel and selecting the color we want. We pick gray. Next, we can change the area color by navigating to Format in the ribbon and change the shape fill to whatever suits you. We go for light green here. The final two elements we add to the graph are a double arrow and a text box indicating the width of the line. To do that, you go to Insert Shapes under Format. Then you select the double arrows by clicking on it in the line section. Next, you click on one spot where you want one endpoint of the arrow to appear. Then drag the arrow to the side and let the button go at the place the other endpoint should appear. In the Format Shape side panel that appears automatically, you can change any feature you want. We change the color of the shape to green and we enlarge the width. The text box can be inserted in exactly the same way as we did the right average on the graph. The other areas can be colored in exactly the same way as we colored this one, but we won't repeat ourselves again here. This concludes our tutorial on fill under line chart. Questions or comments are always welcome. Subscribing would be awesome. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.